Good morning. Back with the angle, the upper angle.
A little chilly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know if it rained last night. It's just still kind of looked like it rained.
I think it rained.
Yeah, it looked like it rained. It's hard to tell. I guess there's no water on the slab.
Maybe it didn't rain.
Heavy dew, and it was still wet.
I don't know.
It looks like it rained, but not enough to
What'd you think,
get on the slab. I don't know, but yeah, you might be seeing he's kind of shivering a little bit.
Oh, he's excited.
Anywho, no. We went to Paragon's yesterday and helped them. You guys have seen at this point we have started on their shipping container project. It's going well. I'll be honest with you, I haven't even watched the video yet. I saw part of it yesterday, but that was about it.
We were over there, and then we have to get back here before night time.
Put the dogs up and all that, and I ended up going to sleep early. I don't remember what we put on.
Oh, roosters.
Yeah. We put on The Hobbit, and I think I made it 5 minutes, and I was asleep. But I haven't watched it yet, so I couldn't tell you fully what's in the video. How far it got, I'm not really sure, but we've gotten a lot further. Videos are to come, and it has been nice to help them get a lot of it done. And I'm a very visual person. Well, I guess I could see it. I don't need to see it. I could see it visually in my head. I could see what the project will be and all stuff, and you're not really that way. Chrissy's not really that way, unless it's 100% her vision, which she is the one that came up with the idea, but they also threw out the idea to me, and I gave them my ideas, and then, everybody threw in their own ideas. But I could see it, the final product. I know what it's going to look like in my head after we discussed everything and all that. Well, now that we're getting through it, Chrissy's like, holy cow, like, we could see this coming to light. We could see this. And I'm like, I'm glad, because this is how I see it, and it's getting there, and I'm glad you're happy.
Well, even if you could see it in your head, just like right in front of you, in your face, is like, I don't know, it's the excitement of it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, oh, this is actually what was up here is becoming a reality. It's like in my face right now. It's such a, I don't know, it's an awesome feeling and a cool experience.
Yeah. All I'm trying to say is I can see it in my head.
Yeah.
And as it's coming along, I'm like, okay, this is exactly how it's in my head. It's pictured. We're getting there. And nothing worse would have been Chrissy been like, this is not what I wanted. And then I'd be like, oh no, we're on down the wrong path. There's been a few things throughout the process of it, and this isn't bad about anything or whatever, but it's kind of the same thing we do here, and everything is just on paper, it could sound great. But once you get into it, again, we're not going to talk about details because I want you guys to see it on video, but there's certain things that Chrissy's like, I expected it to be a little different for certain things, maybe aspects of it, size-wise, and certain things. And
which I think you get into with like any project. I think we kind of talked about that yesterday too. But yeah, it's very different in your head versus as you're doing it, you're coming up with, or you're seeing things that you didn't think would be a problem, or you have to end up doing things a different way, and it's like, oh, but
yeah, and that's kind of what I'm bringing it back to, or trying to at least, is that's how we do everything here.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people are like, you just need to plan it out and go. But a lot of times you can plan it out, it looks good on paper, but once you do it in person, you're there in the middle of it, you got to be quick enough to change on the spot and readjust and fix. If not, you're not going to be happy. And again, things may sound great on paper, but when it's actually in front of your face, you have to improvise and fix, and don't worry about the problem, just worry about the solution.
Yeah, so sometimes it's not like a quick thing. Sometimes it is a thing where you need to think about it and like, okay, move forward from here. It's,
Yeah. So I guess the point I'm trying to make with all this is, clearly a lot of people watch just to watch. You aren't starting over, you're not building, you're not doing all this stuff. You just like to see people do it because it reminds you of when you were younger, or when you and your husband or wife started, or your kids, or whatever it is. We get a lot of comments like that. But there are a lot of people out there that want to live this lifestyle and do things that we do. And just like I did, I used to watch all the time. And a lot of it is very much like, oh, that's easy. Because a lot of people, I'm just going off back then, not now, this is years and years ago, never showed the struggles of figuring it out. It was always just like, this is what it is. And it's like, okay, but if I build that on my property's different. I'm on a slant, I'm on this, I got trees, I got this, or the snow loads are different, or whatever. You have to accommodate to those. So I almost went with a false sense of security of thinking, I'm just going to mimic what they did and I'll be fine. And then you start mimicking, you're like, this is not right. How did they get from here to here? Because I did exactly what they did, but it's not the same. How many times have y'all guys watched a tutorial on something and you're trying to do it, and then you're just like, wait a minute, I did everything they did, but how did they end up with this product, but mine's not? Mm-hmm. And you did everything the same, because a lot of people don't show that. And I'm pretty sure we filmed all the behind the scenes. We didn't, but I'm pretty sure Paragon has filmed the behind the scenes of why we're discussing this, why we're using this certain thing or whatever. And that makes me happy to see, because I truly think, and I firmly believe this, what they're doing, I've never seen before. And I tried to look it up. I'm not saying it's never been done. It just hasn't been documented enough to be out there. So
it's like what we were saying with the grain bin to tiny house. It's obviously been done before,
or we wouldn't have had the idea.
Yeah, but the
documentation.
Yeah, the thorough documentation of it on the YouTubes.
Yeah, and that's why I'm happy about, Paragon filming as much as they're doing and showing that type of thing. And again, I don't know. I only know off of what Chrissy was saying. She was just saying there's a lot of information in there that y'all talked about that I want to keep because I think it's good information. It's a blur to me. I don't remember what all was said and done or what's in the video, but I'm glad that she is doing that, and I hope people are taking stuff from that, and I hope that if someone wants to do this, it'll help them out. And working on it, I mean, it's a 40-foot container. It's huge.
And so even working on a container and you're not making what she's making, or you guys are
just
making.
In general.
Yeah, just in general, when you are doing those certain types of things with it, it's super helpful.
Yeah, you learn a lot from it. And down to when we were trying to get the rust off, what's the best gear to use to get it off? And I, in my head, thought, this wire wheel will be the best thing. And I grabbed a couple of them that we had. I'm like, this will work the best. And then Jeremy's like, I have a bunch of the discs that are the flap discs, have sandpaper. And I was like, I forgot I used that on the trailer that we redid, and that worked really well. We used that, and it worked phenomenal.
I forgot about
yeah.
the trailer.
That's why I had all this stuff, was because of the trailer project.
Yeah.
And I was like, I forgot that was actually what worked really, really good. But I got that at the end, and so this could help people start with that. And so just stuff like that makes me feel good to be a part of, and I'm happy and I'm excited. And one thing too, with YouTube, normally it's the stuff that you're happiest about, that you put most effort in, and all that does the worst. It for whatever reason, your worst video would do the best, your best video would do the worst. The one you're most passionate about won't get anything. It's just the way YouTube works. And the fact that there's already been thousands of people watching this mini series that just started on it, I'm pumped. I'm so excited because we're part of it, and it's fun to be a part of something like this. And
then to seeing your friends go after something that they truly want.
And they battled it for a little bit. Should we do this? This is not only a big investment, but a big project. What if it goes wrong? You have this massive eyesore in your yard.
So I think more than anything, we're super excited to see friends get after it.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
The biggest thing that I always try to preach is, one, if you want something bad enough, you make it happen. But two, follow your dreams, take a risk, do that. I mean, I've that's how I've lived my life for the last, I guess I graduated high school 20 years ago, at least. And then I went, not long after that, I moved to Dallas to be in a band. So I would say the last 17, 18 years or whatever, I started taking risk, and sometimes they pay off, sometimes they don't. But it puts you in the next step to be ready to take the risk and all that. And, you know, Paragon's had a couple of different businesses, and they know all about that. And, you know, to see them do this big project for something that, when it's all said and done, a lot of people would probably think, you did all this for that? Some people would think it's crazy. And then some people that are fully in it would be like, you did it right. You did it right. There's different ways to think about it, but
I mean, people think we're crazy doing this
absolutely.
stuff out here.
Someone literally just commented and was like, every time I drive by a grain bin, I think, why would anyone think I should live in that?
I also think it's because done this stuff for years where it is like a tiny house style, or you can make this into a tiny house. So your brain does start to be like, when you're in something, you start to be like, you can make this into a tiny house. You can make this.
And we had a water tank on our property for years to look at.
Yeah.
That everyone called a grain bin.
Yeah. So I think that's another thing, like mindset, is once you start doing those type of things, anytime you're in something or whatever, your brain just starts going and like how you can make it into a tiny house. Like you can make anything into it.
My whole life. And this is why I'm kind of glad some of y'all probably watch and listen, but Steve-O from Jackass, he said a lot of his stuff has always been driven back to him skateboarding. His resilience, his perseverance, his wanting to try, not giving up, is because he would skateboard. And if anyone knows about trying to do tricks on a skateboard, or
you're gonna fail 10,000 and million times,
but that time you get it, it was worth it, and you'll spend hours and days
those fails
and weeks.
hurt.
And it makes you get up and get up and get up and get up. And I skateboarded growing up. I was never good. I did BMX growing up forever. I was never good. But when you're just driving and you see something that could be a ramp that a normal person would be like, oh, that's just a little piece of dirt that hits a log that hits a piece of sidewalk or whatever, I'm always thinking like, oh, dude, you can hit that and do this or whatever. When a normal person would drive by and look past it, not even think twice about it, it makes you see differently. Being a musician, you hear different sounds, you hear different melodies, you hear different things. Being a comedian, you hear a story that's funny, you're like, that's a good bit. YouTube, you're trying to film a certain thing that, you think, it's just some grass, it's whatever. But you can turn it into a cinematic shot. I'm sure there's, different things you could put towards the nursing side of it. There's different things that you see differently that's like, oh, whatever, I'm not in that field. I don't know. I can't even give you an example.
When you're bedside, especially ICU, it definitely makes you change the way you see the world.
Or this, just the sole fact of this, we did the chicken, and we were like, man, a juicy chicken. And I'm like, we need a baster. You're like, yeah, but if I had a syringe, I can get a syringe and I can inject it. And I'm just like, oh, you can get a baster. But you're like, a syringe, that's just, your mind goes to a different spot to where, like, if we didn't have what we needed, but we had like a little syringe thing for like animals, giving them shots or giving them whatever, your thought process would have been a syringe. I'm like, oh, we have one for this. There's just different. The more you do and the more problems you got to solve and stuff like that, it helps you think differently to where when a problem comes up, it's not even a problem. It's just, all right, what's the solution? You're not worried about a problem. You're just here to figure out a solution. And there's been a couple of things with the project we're working with Paragon on. I have ideas and I have solutions and stuff, but I'm like, I let Jeremy and Chrissy discuss it. I let them throw out the ideas. I let them, and then they'll come to me, and I'm like, I'm not the expert. This is new to all of us. Let's figure this out. And but they'll come to me with like an idea, and I'm like, that's a pretty good idea, or that might work, but I think it might do this. And then they're like, well, that I think might not work, but what about this? And then you get different point of views, and when Chrissy came up with the idea in the first place, my first thought was like, and then I was like, let me look this up. And no one's done it. I'm like,
that's like that video of that girl like eating cereal. You know what I'm talking about? Where she's like, nah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
You've seen way more videos like that than I have. You're always like, yeah, no, I'm all. But when
y'all know what I'm talking about.
Probably, I'm sure some people do. It got brought up, and I was like, my very first thought was like, and I was like, well, dang, that is a good idea. Like that's, let me look this up, and then nothing. I'm like, let's go, let's do this. And then it was a lot of problem solving and figuring it out, and then you could take ideas off other things and put on it. And I think anybody that lives this lifestyle knows everything you do, you got to improvise. Everything you do, it's more about like, it's not about homesteading or farming. It's about fixing, because your tractor's gonna break, your fence is gonna mess up. You got to build a barn. You got to build a chicken coop.
This morning we thought we heard breakfast.
Oh,
by the camper.
It sounded like he was right outside the camper.
We just go, oh no.
It's either breakfast or a wild hog.
Yeah.
And of course our dogs are locked up, so you know a wild hog could potentially be in here. But it sounded like it was right outside, and I was like, my first thought was, oh no. If he's out, all the other animals are out. We're going to have to fix fencing today.
Yeah, so it goes into problem solving. But no, breakfast was
perfectly fine. He was just loud.
Yeah, it's crazy how the sound bounced.
Yeah. But... yeah. But you always have to improvise and come up with things. And I don't know. It's a lifestyle I don't wish on anybody.
No.
But I wish everyone would do. It teaches you a lot, and it really tests your patience, and it really makes you think differently. And then also, when you live a lifestyle like this, we're not there yet, but we're getting there to where it's like, we're not going to have to buy chicken no more. We're not going to have to buy pork no more. Man, can you believe that not long from now, we'll walk out to a fridge or a freezer and pull out meat and just smoke it, rather than have to be like, well, what do you want to go get from Walmart today? Mm-hmm. You know, we'll have all that. And it'll make it to like where all of this is worth it. Every problem solving, every up and down of this, pays off. And it's the same thing when it comes down to a job you have, or part of our job, my job, part of her job's YouTube. And it's the ups and downs, but the end of it, our retirement of it, you don't get a real retirement from YouTube. My retirement plan is we build everything we need to build, and we have a life that we love. And the payoff is every day we get to wake up and just daily vlog us living on the property we built. And whether that's we're collecting eggs, cooking eggs, and sitting around, then that's our day, because we worked hard to get here, and then now we get to enjoy it and show you guys after you build it, this is what you get. And that's what I'm excited for, and that's what it can't come soon enough. But it's the driving force behind everything is that payoff, and it'll all be worth it. All the ups and downs and everything, it'll be 100% worth it.
Yeah, it doesn't happen overnight.
Absolutely, it takes years.
You guys have been. You've seen it.
Yeah, there's a huge payoff of buying raw land and building it how you want, because you get, for the most part, you get what you want out of it. You may have to tweak things here and there, but you get to mold your life into it. The con of that is it takes forever. The pro of buying something that's already fixed is you're ready to move in, let's go. The con is you're going off someone else's plan.
Yeah.
So maybe meet in the middle. Find property that's already fenced. Go from there.
Oh.
That's your best bet if you're trying to live this lifestyle.
My number one advice would be if you're trying to live this, find a property that's already fenced.
Or don't get animals first.
Animals first. Well, you're going to have a dog. You have to. So, fencing. Yeah. I don't know. But anywho, we did that yesterday, and the weather was actually pretty good. Cooperated a lot after this storm and everything, and
I think we have like today and maybe tomorrow, and then we're supposed to get days of rain, bad weather again. Which I'm not complaining. Hey, bring this rain. Let's fill up these ponds. Yeah. Let's calm it down.
The land needs it.
Yeah. So that's kind of where we're at right now. We may go live tonight. We've been saying that for the last few days.
Yeah.
But we'll just kind of see where it goes. And as of right now, I'm pumped that we got to help Paragon. I'm excited to see the videos come out. I'm excited to watch the video that already came out.
Yeah.
If you haven't watched it, go watch Paragon's video. We've been putting in the work on it, and I don't think it's told yet what it is. I think that might be the next video. So go guess. Mm-hmm. I don't think we said enough to fully give it away, but go on their video and guess, and check it out if you haven't. But happy birthday, Bubbo. It was fun.
Yeah.
Being there for his birthday party.
Yeah.
I think that's the first dog birthday party I've ever been a part of.
Oh.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
So I'll hold that near and dear forever. But and you're also wearing pajamas.
Yeah. Chrissy got us matching outfits for Bobo's birthday, and he's always wearing a tuxedo.
He's black and white.
And so
yeah,
it was Bobo's birthday party outfit,
which is pretty funny. I was going potty this morning and I had my phone out, and I get on Facebook and it's one of y'all that I'm friends with. Your entire family took a picture wearing that exact outfit.
Oh, it's so comfy.
There was like 6 of them, I think.
This is literally probably the most comfortable pajamas.
Yeah.
Ever. And she said she got it from Walmart, so.
She didn't buy me a pair, so.
You're missing out. How do you feel that? It's nice.
Yeah, dang, that's not bad. Yeah. So, all right, guys, we'll catch you on the next one. It's a little chilly this morning, and maybe we'll go live. I don't know. All right, bye.